And good evening, everyone, once again. So, good evening. Round 4 of Scorpio superformula.
There it is. We only had 14 drivers at most in the 3 previous rounds. We added a 15th for whatever reason this week, which meant obviously we couldn't have both broadcasters in the event. As green light is out, we are underway. Both AMS drivers already up front. Arigata working his way in the 3rd place position, as I'll quickly try to get my info set up. Drift King leads the way from his teammate as he has a snap. What a, oh goodness gracious. Saves it just, but he's going to have some contact, going to get pushed off, and he's going to drop down from pole position down into, my timing score is a bit messed up. So
His P6.
he's going to drop in behind Gramenos. Gramenos actually, I believe, had a very good start as Roach nearly gets pushed out onto the AstroTurf. He'll have a snap of oversteer.
Super is off.
One car spun around in the back as the rain looks like it has, for the most part, stopped. Or certainly not falling anywhere near as heavy, and we're possibly flirting with potential for intermediates here.
It should clear up, so we still have a lot of rain. We as well see that Sanchez is all over Gramenos. Gramenos, who is struggling to find grip, but Chung in the last lap shaved off a whole second compared to Philo.
The moment is just kind of biding his time, so just a snap of oversteer, no contact with any walls. He will continue on. Speaking of contact, though, it looks like Roach has made contact with someone at some point. Is that, like you said, that... Oh, and Arigata's gone off! He's off. Philo's going to close in big time here. He is back on track, and he will get back going. Certainly still some standing puddles, but it'll be very interesting. Obviously, drivers could pit now, go on to the intermediates, and it would be faster.
They will need to
could
cool
we
these
potentially...
tires.
Yes, and that's where we'll see them starting to drive offline and try to pick up some of the standing water. Seconds definitely helped that he was in possibly the slowest part of the track. But these drivers now are really going to start feeling the tire wear start to kick in with how
curb.
little water there is standing on the track. Yeah, just getting the tire on the curb, very wet part of the circuit. Arigata with a 1:40 that last lap. He's dropping a heap of time here.
He made a mistake, yeah. He's now pushing
again.
in
Oh,
and
he spins it again! Spins it once again out of turn 1, and he's got huge front end damage. Front wing and front suspension. Oh, the championship leader. There was an article in the Insiders magazine talking about how he was potentially securing himself as a title favorite. And we're finally starting to see him make some mistakes. The pressure is getting to him potentially. Arigata spun round as he comes out onto the back straightaway. Hasn't picked up any more damage, it looks like, but an absolute shame. A race that was looking good at the start, managed to get up into the 2nd position, and now just tumbling down the order, mistake after mistake, and he's coming into the pits. He can't hold on to that car any longer, and he's going to miss the pit entry.
Yeah, this race just
Oh,
went from bad to
dear
worse.
me. What has happened to his race as these drivers battle their way through? I haven't said anything about it so far this season. Do you think perhaps that bright gold metallic paint job of Lester's is perhaps a bit of a tactical advantage, especially in conditions like this where at just the right angle it might be blinding the competitors?
Could be.
Just a bit.
Interesting choice. Yeah. Now when you said it, I'm looking at it, and yeah, it's very shiny.
Because, you know, at the start of the season, he ran basically an all-gold car that had very little in terms of sponsorship or just design elements to it. It has since been updated, and I must say, it is a very, very tasteful livery. But again, you know, just that very sly color choice, it must be said, perhaps going to give him an advantage. Yep, Roach does make the move. Right there, you might see it. Going through turn one as he basically ends up broadside to his competitors who haven't quite gotten to the apex yet. Made the dive in the final chicane, and now Ivan looking to attack back, draining all the overtake. Looking up the inside, got to be careful in case there's any stagnant water that could still be there. Contact. 3 wide. Supa's gonna get both of them. Ivan still holding on to that 10th place position now, but Arigata closing in with the overtake. Ivan with defensive move. Arigata had to back out of that one. Oh, and he's gonna try the crossover on exit. Ivan's gonna catch it, and Arigata's gonna let him back through. Very sporting. Great show of sportsmanship there. Not trying to make the pass off of a slight bit of contact coming out of the chicane there. Although that has allowed Michael to catch up to them both here a little bit. As Supa and Roach continue to battle it out. Roach now back ahead of him. They got to be careful with those track limits. We saw Arigata as he now moves up into 10th place past Ivan.
I did manage to catch this one as
Arigata does make the dive on Roach. He kind of put Roach perhaps a little bit into the grass, which is why Roach ran a little bit wide. Perhaps Roach might inquire in SI. All over the back of them. We're going to have a 3-way battle for 6th here. As Lester all over the overtake now, looking to get back around Gramenos. Side by side into turn 1. Arigata thought about trying to crossover, not going to be able to make it happen. Gramenos trying to hold on around the outside. Oh, he ran off track though, I believe, so he might get time penalty for track. Oh! Bit of a lag punt from Arigata. I don't think he meant to make contact there. I think the game just...
And that race is still on. And again Arigata. How did he save it? How?
That was a very impressive save. I genuinely thought that was going to be a humongous impact into the right-hand side wall as these two continue to battle it out. Gramenos has used up all of his overtake. Arigata nearly missed the corner. He ran into the back of him, I think. Potential... Oh, never mind. Arigata's just spun it again. And he's got damage again. Commentator's curse strikes once more. I am so sorry. He spun it out of turn 1. And once again has knocked that front right suspension and front wing.
Again, the same mistake.
What was potential for a drive back to a top 5? An unfortunate case for Ivan. Once again, turn 1, as I'm about to make a comment about what a driver's strategy might be in terms of racecraft that they're planning, just drops it on the exit of turn 1. And speaking of memory, yoo-hoo, I'm back, says Sanchez, as he's now almost within 1 second of Drift King here. Drift King actually a bit wide through the chicane. Sanchez is going to close in. He's under a second now comfortably. Does he start to use the overtake? He has the pace. He ran. It was a 36.7 to a 37.3. He's being held up at the moment. I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Or no, scratch that. I'm doing whatever he doesn't do.
Yeah.
If he comes in, I'm staying out one more lap, and I'm going to see if I can try to overcut him somehow. If not, oh well. If it works out, If it works out, great. If not, then, you know, you've got that extra one more lap with fresher tires.
True.
We will have to see. Do they come into the pits? Chung comes in. No, he will follow him in.
Yeah, incredible. I would definitely do the opposite.
No, he will shadow him into the pits. Lester, who's currently under fire from Arigata. Arigata looking around the outside. Ooh, snap of oversteer. This could give Lester a run, potentially. Is he using overtake? He doesn't really have much to use.
No, he's out of overtake at the moment.
He just ran out. Arigata holding it round the outside.
Nice one.
And this final battle for which driver is where on the podium.
3 laps to go.
Chung potentially held up a little bit by Michael there.
Slightly,
Michael,
yeah.
you really got to get out of the way. That's going to allow Chung to get away from Sanchez here a bit. As Michael does get out of the way eventually, but that cost Sanchez about 4/10 there. 5/10. This is where he's going to start closing in. All over the overtake now. He needs to be careful with not using too much. Chung now will also be starting to think about using his own. 3/10 as they come into realistically what is the last overtaking opportunity on the track. Chung a little bit wide. This is going to open the door for Sanchez. All over the overtake button. He's going to drain it now. Both of them draining it toward this final chicane. Chung should have enough overspeed to hold it off. We have a yellow flag in this final sector. Super 2K has won the race here at the Nurburgring. Chung and Sanchez will hold on to it. Positions will hold station. It's an AMS 1-2 as Super S2K leads home the field for his first win of the season. Chung brings it home to reclaim first in the Drivers' Championship, and Sanchez will bring home a well and hard-fought third place for himself. Philo will round the corner and bring it home in the fourth place position. Payme.
And the fastest lap for Philo.
Philo with the fastest lap, a great final lap for him. No overtake left for him at the end of it. Welcome back, everyone. Post-race after round 4 here at the Nurburgring GP circuit. We'll start off with our third place finisher, Sanchez. A hard-fought battle, it must be said. A very strong result. Bring home your first podium of the season. Tell us what was going through your mind there, especially in that second half of the race as you were slowly catching up to Drift King.
It was very overwhelming, since, you know, some of you may know I'm a controller, and the tire wear and controller don't really go out together. So it was very unexpected.
And certainly from our standpoint, it looked like you were actually maintaining a pretty decent tire wear level compared to Drift King. We saw you really didn't use your overtake until those final 10 or so laps is when you started finally using the button a bit more. Was that a strategy that you had in mind once you kind of settled into the top 5 after the early go, and especially as the rain sort of stopped, or was that just something that just kind of happened?
I've seen other races similar to this where they do use like a ERS sort of attack, when usually they tend to use it around the end of the race. But I don't know if this one here is as powerful, or like I can get away with using it a lot earlier. So it's kind of like a habit.
Well, a strong result and a very impressive one for our resident controller player on the grid. That is Sanchez with once again a very impressive third place position. So impressive to see out of you, and congratulations on the result. We will move on to place finisher. Drift King qualified on the pole position by almost half a second, and then it just looked like a bit of a moment coming out of turn 2 on the opening lap. Dropped you down to 6th and wasn't ever really able to find your way back to the lead after that, but still a very strong result, and obviously will retake the points lead after Nico's adventures, shall we say, during today's event. Tell us what was going through your mind as you, especially or realistically, what happened there on the opening lap?
Well, on the opening lap, the start was okay, really. Going mostly into turn 2, I saw S2K was wide, and I guess I was slightly distracted by him, and I got a little bit happy on throttle and went off the track slightly. I probably would have held 3rd, maybe 4th, if they weren't 3 wide on the inside. I don't know who was on my inside, but they were 3 wide there. And kind of just fought my way back up. Had to use a little bit of overtake when I really didn't want to, which kind of made me have like a lot less overtake later in the race for when CTRK was attacking me. But that's racing sometimes, and you just have to do what you have to do sometimes.
Well, still a very strong and impressive result. Do you think had the lap 1 incident not taken place, you would have had pace to go and attack or hold off against your teammate?
I probably would have been closer, but once on the drying track, I definitely was the faster of the 2 AMS cars. But once the track fully dried out, S2K kind of just came alive. So I gotta give it props to him. He's really fast once the track really dries out.
All right, and there you have it from our 2nd place finisher. Once again, a very strong result and does retake the championship lead. We will move on to AMS Super S2K. A fantastic drive, it must be said. Qualified 3rd, fought your way up into 2nd place on coming out of turn 1 on the opening lap. Then obviously with the error from your teammate was able to take the lead. And then after that point, you never looked back. You ran away with it. Frankly, a flawless race it looked like from our end. Tell us, how did it go for you?
Yeah, I mean, my good buddy Lester told me before the race, he's like, don't do anything you don't need to do. Again, you have the pace and you just stay consistent, you'll do well. And at the end, I was trying to go for another fast lap, and he kept telling me, he's like, don't do it, don't do it. So again, he just told me, be consistent, you have the pace. If you have the track position, you can keep it. That was one big factor. And as well as I learned how to be more smooth by watching the F1 race at Saudi Arabia. I watched that, and I watched Oscar Piastri's driving style, and I kind of wanted to adapt some of those into my driving. So I got a little bit of better tire wear, so I can, have better stints and more consistent lap times, in which I did have. So yeah, just a lot of learning that I'm taking in right now, and trying to be more consistent and doing all of that. And luckily for me, that just ended up in a win. So yeah.
Well, it was certainly outstanding performance, it looked like, from our end. Do you think there was anything you could have improved on from that event? I mean, you lapped up to, I believe it was the 6th place position. Was the last car on the lead lap, and you had I believe it ended up being almost a 20-second lead over 2nd place at the end of it. Is there anything you could have improved on from today's event?
Probably the tire wear has been definitely improved, but I know I can improve on my front tire wear, especially at this track where it's so demanding. That, and as well as some of the wet driving, I was having a little bit of slip and sliding going on. Luckily it didn't end up in a spin, but being more consistent and direct with my input in the wet should make me better in qualifying, hopefully, and in the race. So yeah.
All right. Well, a fantastic drive and a very well win. First one of the season for AMS Super S2K, who takes it handsomely here at the Nurburgring GP. Be sure to tune in next weekend. We will be back for Road Atlanta on May 3rd, a 73-lap event to take place in the Georgia Heartland. Be sure to check that one out. That will be very entertaining to watch. I can guarantee it. Thank you all very much for tuning in to today's broadcast. We hope to see you next week, same time, and goodbye.